Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started in just a few short minutes. I opened it early in case anyone wanted to join early and get a drink or just get comfortable. And I think we're going to have a great session today. I'm really looking forward to it. And there is my co-host joining as well. Alex, are you there? I do not see you. Oh, there we go.
All right. Hello, David.
Hello. Every time you
Hello.
join, I get nervous as if you're going to leave me hang to dry by myself.
Yeah, no, it was just the bot lady was telling me the webinar is recorded, so I couldn't hear you.
Classic. Well, we're on time. We're going to give a few minutes there, as always, for any late stragglers or people who are just joining. But big welcome to everyone to office hours for this month. I know we took a month off, if I'm not mistaken. So excited to get back into it. We have a lot of cool stuff to show you. And of course, we're always happy to answer questions along the way. So sit tight and we'll get started shortly.
Absolutely. It's been a couple of months for me that I took off the office
Right.
hours.
Sorry, it's very true. I forget that you weren't part of the Q&A with the founders one.
Yeah. And I was happy to get some rest then.
I'm sure. How are things where you are right now? What's the weather like? Because over here it's very gloomy, very sad, like no sunlight whatsoever, so it's depressing a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting to be like that in here as well. Ever since we came back from the offsite,
Yeah.
it was ugly fall, like a lot of rains and winds, not a lot of sunlight. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, Hopefully we don't get snow too soon. I'm enjoying this kind of not super hot but not super cold weather, like sweater weather, I guess some people call it. So hopefully it kind of stays like this for at least a little bit.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Okay. Well, we'll give a few more minutes. It's only 2:01, but I would say maybe 2:02, 2:03 can get started. As a reminder, everyone, this is recorded, so don't worry if you have to leave to go to the bathroom or if you have to drop out early. It is recorded and it will be sent to you as soon as the webinar is done. I think it takes about 10 minutes or so for the video to be processed. But then even if you miss it in your email inbox, we do always upload these to our YouTube and website. So you have multiple points where you can watch this recording. And of course, if ever you can't join, you're watching this recording, you can always reach out to the support team via the chat, via email, if you have questions about what is discussed. So it's really no stress, which is what I like about this. You know, we have multiple opportunities to watch it. And then if you feel like you need a question, like a burning question that's answered, multiple ways to ask that question.
Exactly. Yeah, we're always happy to receive questions and feedback / suggestions for some future features. We'll touch on that during this office hours as well.
I know Alex always tells me how bored they are in support, and they're always looking for people to reach out to them to book calls. So you can make his dream come true.
True, true. And I'll give my apologies in advance because it seems like I'm catching a cold. So in case you can hear it in my voice, just sorry.
It's okay. I just got over one, so there must be something going around. Okay. It is 2:03. I think 3 minutes is a fair amount of grace period. So once again, I might be a bit repetitive here, but just in case you're joining late, welcome to office hours. The purpose of this webinar is we try to do these monthly or whenever we have like some features we want to talk about and kind of cover what it's about, how you can use it for your business. Get your feedback. That's always important to us. And of course, answer any questions you have. Doesn't have to necessarily be about the topic. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about add-ons, but if you have other questions, by all means, if we have an answer, we will provide it for you or provide you with a way to get the answer. You'll notice that only Alex and I have mics and cameras. That's just to make things easier and make things more comfortable for people. But you can use the little emoji button in the bottom to react if ever you want to give a thumbs up. And of course, there's the Q&A section where you can start putting in your questions, and we will go through them at the end. It's very helpful, obviously, as we're going through the product. If you think of something, just type it in then, and then of course we'll address it at the end. Another reminder as well is, of course, this is recorded, as I mentioned earlier, but I'll repeat myself again. You will get the recording approximately 10 to 15 minutes after the webinar closes. It does take time for the video to process, and then we usually upload this to our website and YouTube channel today, if not tomorrow. So you'll always have access to it. Before we dive in, I'm also going to mention that we have a few polls that we always like to ask, including how easy you find vacation tracker to use, as well as what kind of topics you want us to cover. So by all means, take the time. I'm going to open the polls now and answer them at your leisure. You can answer them right now. You can answer them a bit later. But do make sure to check that polls tab and give us your feedback, because that's always important. And we always value that feedback. I think that's enough rambling for me. Alex, if you're ready, by all means, take it away.
Great. Thank you, David. And welcome again, everybody, from my end as well. So as you probably already know, this month's topic for us will be add-ons. We have a new add-on to discuss, and we'll have a refresher on all of the previous ones that we've had released, as well as a peek into what's upcoming in the near future. Of course, the first question would be, what is an add-on? I'm assuming most of you either use them or have seen them, but just in case somebody missed out. So add-ons in Vacation Tracker are some additional features that aren't necessarily a core part of leave tracking, but can help you reduce the time that you need to spend on tracking other people's PTOs. So that's I think the simplest answer, David. Correct me if I'm wrong. The easiest example would be the seniority entitlement. Of course, you have an option to change people's balances individually, manually. But if you have a huge team of 200 people, changing everybody's balances 200 times per year, calculating everything can be a lot of stress and a lot of time. So instead of doing that, we offer an automated solution for you. So that's just in short, as a reminder. But yeah, let me start by sharing my screen. Let me find the share screen button. And we can start with covering the add-ons. So we'll first go through the add-ons that we already covered in the past, and then we'll talk about the newest addition. Just let me know if you can see the screen, David. I think you.
It's perfect, crystal clear for me.
Perfect. All right. So one small thing that I need to touch on before we move into add-ons is this dashboard here has been updated, as you might have noticed recently. We've changed the design of the left side menu. We think it makes more sense for it to look this way. We've also added the little line on the right hand side with some additional helpful links and pages. So yeah, we'll touch on this more probably on the next office hours. We'll cover it in depth because there's some additional changes coming. But yeah, I think this is a good upgrade to our previous menu, at least. So to reach add-ons now, you need to go to the workspace settings on the left-hand side and open the add-ons page. Usually, for most of you, I'm guessing, this page doesn't look like this. We have the My Add-ons and the Discover More Add-ons tabs. Under My Add-ons are all of the add-ons that you're subscribed to. As you can see, it's all of them for me because this is our demo account and we'll cover them all. Usually, you'll have more things in the Discover More Add-ons tab. So just a note if you're struggling to find the one that you need. Coming in here, I think that the easiest way is to go in the same order as they're opened here. So just not to forget about anything. So we can start with Visibility Manager. The Visibility Manager offers an option for you to limit users' visibility to either their own team or department or only to their own leaves, depending on what your company's policy is. We've had feedback when we released this initially. It was only for departments, but we've received feedback continuously that you need complete visibility limitation. So we've enabled user visibility only as well. So personally, records would allow you to limit somebody's visibility only to their own leaves and nothing else. What this means to you as an admin, because I'm guessing most of you are admins, it won't change anything from your point of view. So as an admin, of course, you have all the power, all of the options, all of the visibility on the platform. But on the user's point of view, they won't be able to see anybody else's scheduled leaves. So that's the super easy explanation. And of course, because it's a simple feature, it's simple to configure as well. So the question is, do you want to limit the visibility? And then when you say yes, you choose how you want to limit it, either through their department or only their personal leave records. And that's it. Once you click save, the changes are updated. Moving on, we have Open API, kind of a niche add-on. It really depends on the company. The API we offer is a one-way API, which means that you can only pull the data from Vacation Tracker into a third-party platform. When you open the API, even if you don't buy it, you can open the documentation to see all of our endpoints, and of course decide based on this whether or not it's going to be useful for you. That's I think people that need the API will understand this, so I'm not gonna go too much in depth on this one. And yeah, creating the API key is also very easy. You need to create a name for the key and click create. It's going to generate a code for you, and that's it. Moving back, I don't know why the back button doesn't work, but it's okay. Moving on, we have the probation period feature. It's an automation that, like the name sells what it's trying to do. So when you have a new hire, usually during the probation period, they're not allowed to take vacations or PTO days. So you can create it over here. So we have one already created. I'm not gonna create another one. When you open the configuration, you can see the name of the policy. So here it's just called new hires. Depending on, you might have different policies for different countries, for example, if you're a multinational company, or you might have different policies for different departments, well, depending on like whether they joined IT or support or marketing team. You can create different probation policies. You have the length of days that an employee is in probation. You have the auto reject response. This is something that when a user wants to request a leave, this is going to pop up when they click on the request leave button. It's going to be a top right corner pop-up, same as when you're requesting a leave or approving a leave on the dashboard. And then at the bottom, it's asking you whether or not you want to apply it to all users. As I said, sometimes you might have different countries with different policies, different probation periods, so you can filter it based on that. But if it applies to everybody, you can just click yes here and select the leave types. Now, of course, vacation or PTO might be limited for probation period, but sometimes sick days don't really need to be, because you can get sick during the probation period. It happened to me, at least. So it wouldn't really make sense to request it, to block it, sorry. So you have an option to select which leave types you're blocking from users from requesting. And when you're happy with this, you just click update, and the probation period configuration is set. You can create as many as you need when you purchase the add-on. And that's something that's important for, I think, all of the add-ons that we're covering here. An important note is when you buy a probation period or a seniority entitlement or whatever other add-on, you have an option to create as many as you need for the same price. It's just the feature is unlocked for you. It's limitlessly unlocked for you. That's it. Moving on, We have the leave request notice period. This is the new add-on that we are covering, so I'll leave that for the end. And we'll go to the maximum users away. Again, the name kind of sells the add-on. We can create this new policy because we don't have any here, and you can see it's a bit more complex. So I'll just call it max users away here, but the same thing applies to as for the probation period. If you have different rules for different departments, this is usually based on a department. So for example, here in support, we wouldn't have more than 2 people on vacation at the same time, but maybe in marketing, David, you guys can go, you can all go on vacation at the same time. I don't know. So it's probably going to be based more on the department. For the period, this is a really cool thing, in my opinion. So you can create this add-on to be applied year-round. So from January 1st to December 31st, and set it to recur annually in order for it to be applied throughout time. But you can also apply it for specific time periods. So for example, vacation seasons, either the summer period or the winter holiday season, I guess, are the busiest when it comes to vacations. So if you have a big team and you want to let everybody have a piece of their own vacation during the summer, you could use this, for example, to set, I don't know, the thing is summer already passed here, but we can go for 2026. So you can set June to August, I think, is the vacation season, the summer vacation season. You can create this for that time period. So this maximum users away only applies to the vacation season. So everybody in your company has a chance to take a summer vacation. Of course, you have an option to recur it annually, or if this is a one-time thing, it can be done as well. And the limit can be done by a percentage or a specific number of employees. So as I mentioned, in support here, we wouldn't go over 2 employees, whether or not we hired another person or not. I don't think we would make it would make a difference. But for bigger teams, for example, you might know that under 50% would kind of be an overkill for the people that are working. The workload would be too big for them. So you could set it to just 50%, and whether you have 10 employees or 100, it's gonna allow half of them to take vacations at the same time. We have the auto reject response once again. So you can configure this, you can edit it to fit your needs, but it's going to pop up if there's more people requesting a leave than allowed. And of course, a question whether or not you want to apply it to everybody, or if you don't want to apply it to everybody, you can filter it by locations, departments, and labels, as always. As I said, in my opinion, this is a department thing. It's not really a location thing. So I'll set it to departments, select support. And again, I think this would mostly apply to vacation days. We have some other leave types here that are not really, it's a demo account, so sorry about that. But yeah, I think this mostly applies to vacations, while sick leaves, again, you wouldn't really want to restrict that. So yeah, once you're happy with the setup, of course, the purple wording here explains everything that you've configured so far on the page. If you're happy with it, just click save, and that's it. This is the configuration. Of course, we can open it at any time and make adjustments to fit our needs. But that's it for the maximum users away. We will move on to seniority entitlement. So this is the original add-on that we had, David. It's the first one we ever released, and it's the most popular one, I think, regarding the usage. So seniority entitlement, as probably a lot of you know already, lets you add additional days to people's PTO vacation quotas, depending on how long they've been with a company. So For example, if a company can have a policy where after 2 years, an employee earns another 5 days of vacation, and then after 10 years, they earn another five, and so on. So a simple way to put it, you can create it by calling it seniority entitlement in this case, but it can, again, apply to a location or a department. So the naming here only depends on how you want to distinguish different entitlements from each other. So it's up to you to name it however it fits. You could select a specific location. You saw already that we have two seniority entitlements created. That's because they were assigned to specific locations. So in that case, I can no longer select that I want to apply this to all users because there are already some seniority entitlements applied to specific users in some locations. So this one I can only apply to, let's say, Mexico, for example. I will select the leave type that I want to use. Start applying seniority entitlement from. This is a very cool feature. So as an old client of Vacation Tracker, old, I mean old before we introduced seniority entitlement, you probably did this manually. So you every year you would come into users' profiles, make the changes to their quotas, and then move on. So when we released seniority entitlement, we created this option to start applying the seniority from today, meaning that all of the changes that you've done in the past to your users' balances would still make sense. So starting today and moving into the future, any new anniversary that hits the mark that you set would add additional days, but the system wouldn't go in the past and make any updates and mess up the quotas that you already set up. But as a new client that hasn't done this in the past, you can just use the start from the user employment date. You, of course, need to make sure that every user has a correct employment date first, because otherwise this wouldn't work. And then the system will go back in the past, check everybody's start dates, and assign additional days accordingly. So yeah, that's this, and of course, adding days from employee start date and or beginning of the fiscal year. This depends on your company's policy, I guess. If you're adding days from the employee's start date, for example, if somebody started on September 1st, even though it's their anniversary year when they're hitting the seniority entitlement goal, they would still have to wait all the way until September to get those additional days. On the other hand, if you're applying it from the beginning of the fiscal year, come January 1st, that employee that starts in September already gets the additional days because they will hit their anniversary and during the year. Prorating here is only applied to employee start date option. So prorating, for example, if we're adding, let's say, 16 hours after 5 years, and we use the example of September 1st, of course, the employee will hit their anniversary and be with the company for longer than 5 years, only for the fourth quarter of the year. So the first 3 quarters, they wouldn't have hit the seniority target. So this allows you to, instead of adding all 16 hours to that user after 5 years, this would add 16 divided by 4 would be 4. So it would add 4 hours to them on September 1st, and then the other 12 hours would be added to them starting January 1st next year. So it's just prorating the same way as you would prorate somebody, a new employee's quota when they join a company mid-year, essentially. And of course, an issue that has bothered a lot of our clients that use this was how do I create different rules. So a lot of people that I saw from support would create one policy that says, I don't know, 16 hours after 2 years, they would hit create, and then they wouldn't be able to create another seniority entitlement for adding another 16 hours after 5 years, for example. This is an option that some people miss, so I think it's important to point out. And the seniority entitlement can be configured all on one screen with multiple rules for multiple years. So as long as you're applying it to the same people, you can apply all of the different years and awards on the same seniority entitlement page. So here we're adding 16 hours after 2 years. Then I think we'll add another 16 after 5 years, and then we can go on and on and on for as long as we need. Not really. I think the limit is 20 right now. I'm not sure. But even if you need more, we can unlock more. It's just like the processing power lets you go through 20 with no issues. So yeah, that's it. When you're happy with this configuration, you would click create, confirm the creation, and it's going to show up here. The important thing and why the pop-up appeared, I realized right now that I just clicked it automatically, that didn't let you read it. Once you create the seniority entitlement automation, you cannot update it. That's done because the system will, only upon creation, the system will go back in time and assign days to users. And so making any updates wouldn't make sense for the system to do it again. So just in case you made a mistake and you need to make an update, you would need to delete the automation and start again. But that's it for the seniority entitlement. I think I took the most time for it, but it makes sense. It's the most used add-on. Moving on, we have the leave duration limit. I'll open it up right here. Let me close this pop-up. And let's go to create a policy. So the leave duration limit lets you, as it says, limit the number of days an employee can take at one go. So this works hand in hand with the maximum users away. I think you can make them work together and create a good balance for everybody to have an option to take a leave. So let's call this one summer season, because the max users away we created for the summer vacation period, and let's create it for the summer period of 2026, June through August, and we'll let it recur annually. We have two options here: the minimum leave duration hours and the maximum leave duration hours. So this is in hours because our demo account is set up to set leave quotas in hours. It can be in days if yours is set up to be in days. But yeah, so let's say, for example, you want everybody to have an option during the summer to request a well-deserved vacation, and you want to let them, you've calculated that if everybody takes 2 weeks and you have 50% of a limit for max users away, you would have just enough time to fit everybody in this summer period. What would be the option? It would be that you enter maximum leave duration hours to be 80, because this is like 2 weeks worth of vacation. The minimum can be 1, I guess. It's not really important in this example, but it might be important in some others. And what you've done here is you've limited employees to taking the maximum of 2 weeks during this summer period. Of course, if they go and request a vacation for, I don't know, the last week of August and then moving into September, it would unlock it for them, because September is not included in this time period. So they could request 3 weeks. And going back in May as well, they could request 2 weeks in May and the first week of June. It would let them do that. But just this time period here would be blocked off for more than 2 weeks. And of course, the auto reject response lets you configure the message. You can say something like 2 weeks is enough for you. Let other people rest as well. Jokes aside, you can of course apply this to everybody, or to specific users from different locations or departments. Again, I think this is a department material, so I'll use departments and I'll select support again. And the last option is selecting the leave types. So again, it mostly applies to vacation PTO days, but you can use it for any leave type that you need. Another example here would be that if you're tracking leaves, I don't know. No, that's not a good example. A better example would be when somebody's requesting a leave during a specific period that they would need to take at least 5 days worth of vacation. If you want to let people rest, you want them to rest well and come back fresh, right? So what you would do in that case is set the minimum leave duration to be 40 hours. So now from this, and this can be 300 as far as you're concerned in that case. So the minimum leave duration hours would then force employees to request at least 5 work days of leave, so they can go and enjoy their vacation and on their own time, and then come back energized and ready to crush the busy season. So yeah, those are a couple of examples. I'll return this to one because this is our summer season policy, and I'll hit save. That's it. Moving on. So we did leave duration limit. We have blackout period. The blackout period, again, does as the title says. We have a couple of configured blackout periods already here. We have the Black Friday one for 2024 and the busy season one for February of 2025. So these are just a couple of examples. You can create any blackout period that you need. What does this feature actually do? Good question. Thank you for asking, David. So the blackout period will let you restrict the users from requesting leave during the busiest time for either their team or your entire company. So the name could be, if I don't know, if your shopping center store, you wouldn't really want employees to take vacations on Black Fridays. I know it already exists there. My mind went to Black Fridays because of that. But it's the easiest example, I guess. For us in Vacation Tracker, for example, people are usually switching their leave tracking softwares in December and January. You probably did it as well, coming into Vacation Tracker, because it's the easiest way to move from one year into the next to another software. So you can start fresh on a fresh account. So in that case, for us in Vacation Tracker, our busy period is winter. We can call it winter. And the period would be, let's say, December through the end of January. So in this case, let's turn off all the other ones. In this case, I would limit the team from taking vacations during December and January because it's our busiest time of the year. We have a lot of work, we have a lot of workload, a lot of new clients reaching out. So we want to be sure to be available for everybody and be as responsive as possible. So that would be like a good example for Vacation Tracker's blackout period. Of course, you have the auto reject response. You can customize it to fit your needs, and that's it. Of course, the recur annually checkbox is here, and you have a summary of how many users will be affected. I've selected yes to apply to all of them, but you can put it to support only in my example, and just hit create. And that's it. You can create as many as you need. You can have some recurring ones for the holiday season, the busy season, the Black Fridays, and of course you can have some that are specific to some dates. Maybe you have in your company, maybe you have a big release upcoming, and so you don't want people being on a vacation a couple of days after that release because maybe something will go up in flames. You never know with new features. So you might want to use this preemptively to just make sure that all hands are on deck for that release. And the last one of the old add-ons is the entitlement by role, or role entitlement. And this was released next to seniority entitlement. It's not as utilized, and it makes sense that it's not, because it's kind of specific. It's a little bit niche. It makes sure that specific employees, regardless of their location or department, get additional days. In this case, as you can see here, we have the manager label used to add additional hours to the user's profile. So whoever has a manager label on their profile, when you create the label, will get 72 additional hours added to their quota. This is done so that, as the example says, managers, C-level employees, and whoever else needs additional days based on their position in the company can get them automatically. It's relatively simple, but just making sure we cover everything. And so that's all of our already existing add-ons. We're moving on to the leave request notice period. So this, let's come in and create the policy. So the leave request notice period is, you'll notice it's a long name, but it actually makes sense when you think about it. It lets you limit the time that people can request, how short in the future, how close to the future they can request vacation. Sorry, English. Yeah, so for example, let's say we want to create a policy called 1 week, because we want to limit people that take leaves longer than 5 working days, so 1 work week, that they need to request them at least 1 month in advance, for example. So this means that if I want to take a 5-day vacation, since it's October 22nd, I would need to request it at least from November 22nd moving forward. The auto reject response covers pretty much the explanation here, probably better than I did just now. But yeah, it's just not going to let people request more than 5 working days in a week if you set it to be a month. Of course, the question, if you want to apply it to all users, is standing here, and we can apply it to vacation only. In my example, I always like to use vacations, so we'll do it here as well. So, sorry. How does this fit in to your plan? So let's click save here. So we have a 1 week configuration where it says that 1 week vacations need to be requested 30 days in advance. We can create another one that's called 2 weeks, for example. We'll set the leaves to have to be longer than 10 working days. So if the leave is longer than 2 weeks, the leave must be requested 60 calendar days in advance. Let's use that as an example. Of course, we'll assign everything here as well. I'll just skip the removal of the other leave types here, just not to waste too much time. And so now we can already see the pattern that we as a company want to present to the employees. So we need, if you want to take a week of vacation, you need to make sure to give us a notice of 30 days. If you want to take 2 weeks or more, you need to give us a notice of 60 days. Now, all of a sudden, the employees will start to think ahead, to plan out their vacations, and to spend those days making sure that they are well planned and well prepared to take that vacation, and that they can use them to actually rest, instead of requesting it suddenly and then kind of missing out on plans and holidays and everything. So this is pretty much what the new leave request notice period add-on does. And the last thing I would like to cover would be the discover more add-ons here. As I said, this is empty right now. These are all of the upcoming add-ons that we have. You can see here the Bamboo HR and ADP integrations are two upcoming integrations that we have planned. Sometime this summer of 2025, we've decided to go with ADP first, simply because it was the more requested integration. Just based on numbers, it made more sense. And it made more sense simply because it takes a lot of time to integrate into an HR system. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that we need to sync with them because they have a leave tracking option as well. So it's different customization options leads to different outcomes. So we need to sync somehow with them. So we've decided to do the ADP integration first, and then we'll do the Bamboo HR and all of the other requested systems, of course. You can expect, I think, probably the ADP integration to be done this year, by the end of this year. I can't share a release date, but it's gonna be relatively soon, considering we're already hitting November almost. It should be this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun working on that. And also some other add-ons that we are planning to release relatively soon are HR fields that have been requested occasionally, and birthday and anniversary reminders. This is a new addition. I think like a week or two ago that we added this box in the add-ons field. It's been requested. We heard your feedback, and we're planning to release it as well. Talking about feedback, how do you request an add-on? Simple. You come in here, you click on the request an add-on button, and you'll have a little form that you need to fill in. Now, of course, we understand that you want to save as much time as possible, so we don't want to bother you too much with answering these questions. But if there's anything that you need that would help you automate your processes in Vacation Tracker, that would help you save a lot of time, just come in here and let us know what it is. So the form is simple. You need to enter the email, explain the add-on that you want to see in the system, and give us any additional notes about it. So how it would need to work in order for it to be useful for you in your case, and click submit request. Of course, like I know a lot of companies, especially a lot of online like softwares that have feedback fields that don't really listen to it, but we actually make sure to listen to every single one of them. So we appreciate every message that you send and every suggestion for a new feature that you submit. So yeah, that's it. The last thing, which goes hand in hand, I think, with the new user interface here, is on the right hand side we have a few new buttons that you can use. What I want to focus on right now, the only button that is important to me right now, is this one. It's called Docs. It has a little question mark emoji. When you click on it while you're on the add-ons page, it's going to open the add-ons help desk that we have. So instead of going to the different page with help desks, you can actually come in here and search for the one that you need. So if you're trying to use the visibility manager, you can type in visibility and find the visibility manager help desk article that's going to guide you through the process while you're on the same page, so you can match the steps that we have here. I think it's a really cool thing. This is the thing that I most love about the new user interface, as weird as it sounds. So yeah, feel free to use it. We will try to make it more approachable in the future. Right now, it's just while you're on the add-ons page, it's going to open up the add-ons category in the help desk. But we'll try to make it work so that every single add-on here opens up its own help desk article, so it's as easy as possible for you to get to the info quickly. I think that's it, David. I'm not sure if I missed anything. I know I've been talking a lot, so just let me know.
No, I think you covered just about every add-on and then some. Good point about the docs. I didn't even think about that. I've been playing around with the new dashboard as well, and I do like that button. But that's cool. I didn't realize it would open directly to the page you're on or the feature you're on. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the first version here is tied to the categories, because that's how we created the categories before we planned out the new user interface. But moving forward, I've already had some plans set to kind of go into the second phase of this
Yeah.
docs update. We'll work on it in the future.
Awesome. Well, thank you for covering all that. There's a lot of information for sure. But again, if people have more questions about specific add-on, you can always email us. The docs do outline quite a bit how they work. And I've also covered all these add-ons in different videos on YouTube, kind of walking you through the same steps Alex did, as well as with examples. But I do want to turn over to you guys, all the attendees here. If you have any questions whatsoever, can be regarding the add-ons, can be regarding a different feature, can be regarding vacation tracker. Now is the time for the Q&A. So by all means, feel free to drop that into the Q&A section in Zoho, and we will go in order of what they come in, and then I'll do my best to type out the answers as well. So if people happen to miss it, you'll have a written copy as well. So by all means, take your time, and then if not, if we have no questions, which rarely ever happens, we can also close this short, and you can get some time back in your day. Okay. See, there's always at least one question. So we're having the questions come in. We'll start with this one. Oh, perfect. 3. Okay, so we're going here. I'm gonna go in order, Alex. This one's a bit longer, so bear with me. When Vacation Tracker prorates a user's PTO, it doesn't always come out to an even number, which makes sense. For example, our practice only allows providers to take time off in half or full day increments, but sometimes the prorated amount ends up being uneven, like 15 days and 3 hours. Is there a way to manually adjust the prorated total for that year so it aligns with their policy?
Yeah, that's a great question. It hasn't been asked in a while, but I've actually talked about it with our product manager in the past, when, like, the last time I kind of touched on this with one of our clients. Unfortunately, right now we don't have that as an option. The workaround that I offer usually is when you have 15 days and 3 hours. Now that's going to really depend on you whether or not you want to bump it up or down, right? So either you're going to give them 15 days straight, or you're going to give them 15 days and 4 hours if you use half days. So either way, what I suggest is when you see 15 days and 3 hours, you turn off the prorate and you set their current year's quota to be exactly that number. So let me show an example, I guess. Hopefully I'll find an employee. All right, so this person here has too much time on their hands, but let's set it to 80 hours, and I'll click prorate. And I'll hit save. So 80 hours turns into 10 days, although it shouldn't. All right, yeah, much better. So it turned into 3 days, 3 hours in this case. I'm not sure why it didn't update right away. So 3 days, 3 hours. Now, if I want to bump it to 3 days and 4 hours for a half day, what I would do is come into change, click no. 3 days would be 24 hours plus 4, that would be 28 hours. I need to recalculate in hours if you have it in days, which would make sense if you use only half days. Then you can do it in days. It's going to be much easier. Yeah, the prorate button is not really working great, but yeah, here it is. So now I've changed it. I've deactivated the prorate option, and I set it up to be 3 days and 4 hours just for this year. So this is a workaround that I the only thing that I can offer right now. But it's a good reminder, actually, for me as well, to talk to the product manager and see what else we can do about it.
Sounds good.
So yeah,
Perfect. And I appreciate you showing the example because that definitely kind of explained things. Next question. Is there a bundle package for add-ons?
That's a good question. And there isn't one right now, but not to disclose too much, there will be a kind of a bundle package soon. So yeah, I'm not sure if we should touch on it this time around, David. Next office hours, I'm guessing we'll probably touch on it. But yeah, we're planning something for the near future.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. As you know, as you can tell, we're constantly changing things and optimizing and hopefully making your lives easier. So there is plans in the works, but we don't want to give away too much, or else our bosses will not be happy.
True.
Next question for you, Alex, specifically for the visibility manager. Do you set this for each individual user, or can you set this for each individual user, or how does that work?
Good question. And the short answer is you don't. So the visibility manager has just one button, limit visibility for users. So it's multiple, it applies to everybody at the same time. So you cannot choose to limit visibility to individuals. You can only do it to all users in the company or no users. And it applies either to their own department or personally records, as we've discussed.
Perfect. Sorry, you're too quick.
But that's actually a good question. So if you have any use cases where you would want to limit it for individuals, please let us know. Send us an email. Maybe it would be better to just explain it in more depth, and we'll look into it. Maybe share it with a product manager.
Awesome. All right, next question. So their practice has 8-hour days from Monday to, I'm not sure what H means in this scenario. I'm assuming Thursday because I think T would be Tuesday. So 8-hour days from Monday to Thursday, but on Friday, it's actually a 6-hour day. Is there a way I can make Vacation Tracker recognize Fridays as a 6-hour day so that it doesn't take away 2 hours from team members?
There is, yes. And that's a feature that we've actually discussed in one of the previous hours, one of the previous that I've been a part of, at least. And this can be done on the individual user profiles. So I'll use this profile as an example. I'll go to edit and sorry, I went through it really fast. So under the working days, even though it's a custom work week, I'll change it. It's a demo account anyways. When you click on edit, you have the enable working hours schedule option, which is a really cool feature. When you click on yes here, you have an option to select how many hours the employee is working every single day. So I'll enter 8 for Monday through Thursday and 6 for the Friday. And so this way, when I click update, this employee's work week is going to be adjusted specifically to that policy. That, however, means that you won't be able to request half-day leaves, for example. That's one of the kind of bad things, negatives with this positive. It's simply because the half day is different for every single day. So the system doesn't know how to calculate the half day in their balances. And it's just not going to let you do that. Instead, employees can use the hourly option. And with the hourly option, they can request, I don't know if it's a half day on Friday, they can just use 3 hours out of 6. So it's an easy workaround, but still, it's a negative that comes in with this feature. Important note though, because I'm not sure if you're using the core or complete plan, this is only an option for the complete plan because it includes hourly as well. So that's it.
Perfect. Yeah, I was going to ask you which plan this is on. So good to know it's complete only. Okay, next question for you, Alex, if you're ready for it.
Yep.
So when a user cancels an already approved request, the only notification this person currently receives is through Teams. Is there a way to have a notification sent directly from Vacation Tracker instead, or to just receive it by email instead of just through Teams? So this is when a user cancels a request that was actually approved.
Yeah, and that's a good question, and that's something we're working on actually for one of the upcoming features. It goes hand in hand with the multi-platform option that we're planning to release as well. That's going to be one of the biggest things we've ever done, I think, as a company. And this is going to be like a first step towards it. So we'll have an option for you to select how you want to receive the notifications. Do you want it through Teams or email or both? In some cases, I would definitely prefer both because I can miss it on one place and then see it on the other. So yeah, we plan to introduce it in the future. Right now, unfortunately, we don't have an option for that. So if you're using the Teams integration, you will only see it in Teams. But yeah, we're definitely working on it. So stay tuned for that.
Perfect. And there's no like notification that would appear here in the dashboard, right? If someone were to cancel their approved request.
No. So you wouldn't be able to see it on the dashboard. I mean, you can see it on their profile, but you will need to actually know where to search it. And if you have 50 employees and somebody cancels, I don't think it would make sense for you to go and look for the employee. So I'll say no as an easy answer.
Fair enough. Makes sense. I've hit the end of my questions. We'll give a few more minutes. We do have 5 minutes until we hit the 1 hour mark. So in case there's any last minute questions, we'll leave it a bit open. But if not, if after a minute or so we have no more questions, we'll call it a day.
Yeah, perfect. And again, sorry for my voice. I can feel it giving up on me. But we've powered through this. I hope it wasn't really too much bothersome to like listen to me for an hour. But yeah, again, thank you for joining. If you don't have any other questions, you can always send us a chat or an email to hello@vacationtracker.io. We're happy to help. So whatever questions you have, we'll be ready for them.
Awesome. I don't see anything coming in. I see a lot of clapping emojis, so thank you, Alex, for presenting. I'm going to say that we're calling it here. But again, if you just thought of a question as we close, like Alex said, you know how to reach him. Definitely make sure to ask for him. He loves when he's asked for specifically. He's always willing to help. So thank you, Alex, for presenting. Excited to do the next office hours in 1 month when your voice is fully healed. And then yeah, everyone else, stay tuned. Keep an eye on those notifications. Keep an eye on our social media. You'll receive this recording in around 10 to 15 minutes if you haven't received it yet.
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Right.
And thank you, David, for hosting. It was a great.
Always fun. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.
All right. Bye.